You look lovely this Mother's Day.
All right. Are we ready? We got lots to talk about.
Radio waves scream, shark tales break the quiet night. Andy and Sean in the spotlight, legends of the dirt track fight. Dust clouds on Placerville ground, engines roar, the California bound. Sprint cars fly round and round, champions never back down.
We do. We finally got to race together, but yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Um, what was your opinion on Friday night? We finally got to race Chico together, and they made some improvements or adjustments to the format and where we're push off and everything. So yeah, a lot happened at Chico this weekend.
Yeah, the push off lane. I talked to Brad during one of the intermissions, and he's like, man, that new push off lane didn't quite work out like I thought it would. And yeah, I don't know, did it get any different or better on Saturday?
Yeah, I know you talked about having some improvements. So basically, Chico has always had the same push off lane down the back straightaway, kind of open. You can kind of see the track and everything. Well, it always clusters up and gets jam packed. It's hard. You have to make a big 180 whenever you're pushing your car over there. So, yeah, SLC had the decision or came up with the plan to kind of push off of turn 1 and 2, kind of behind, like we got some billboard banners kind of put up. So use that whole area. So then the push trucks, who basically have to push us down the backstretch originally, and then go all the way around through the pit lane,
Yeah.
back to the push off lane. Like it's really hard to kind of get them to be efficient too. So they moved us to turns 1 and 2 to push us basically, yeah, perpendicular from the track, and then we get fired, take a hard left to get onto the track, and the push trucks can just kind of take a right and get back to the cars quicker. So trying to be more efficient that way. But yeah, the way they set up the lanes the first night, it was pretty narrow and everything. But second night, yeah, it was much wider. You could fit four guys, basically four wide in there. Um, so that got squared away a little bit
Good.
better for sure. So yeah, but
Well,
it was a lot to handle, and it takes up a lot of room. Like we don't
oh
get the car
man.
counts that we used to anymore. So before all that area was the pit lanes, and
Yeah.
we have always had a ton of cars like using that area. But now they kind of taking that up for the push off lane, takes that away. But we kind of don't have the car counts anymore. So maybe like Gold Cup or Fall Nationals, maybe it might become an issue. But I know Brad was mentioned at the pit meeting on Saturday that he was thinking just the way we angle trucks and trailers these first couple nights, they have a better idea of how to better organize that. So maybe it'll be better in the future.
I think one thing that would help is we need bigger truck and trailers too. It's funny to go to these pits that, I mean, these pit areas and these racetracks were designed for little tiny flatbed trailers, and you could stack 100 of us in there and it'd be no big difference. And now if you get 30 of us in there, it's like, whoa, pits are full. They're
Yeah.
not full, are just shit. We got so much shit now. We got 100, 100-foot long truck and trailers, and we got quads, and we got mules, and we got pit boxes, and we got more shit than we know what to do with. But
Right.
yeah, so uh qualifying, we get down to the milliseconds, right? Where you and I were talking, your night. I'm not saying I was going to have a great night and you weren't, or vice versa, but we were 18 100ths of a second off in qualifying. I was slower than you by 18 100ths of a second. And basically that sets the tone for me because I'm behind everybody all night. And it sets the tone for you because you're in front of everybody all night. And we're talking 18 100ths of a second.
That was it. Yeah, I was ninth quick. You were 10th quick. But ninth quick put me front row outside of a heat race. 10th quick put you second row inside. So now you have to pass two cars to get into a dash draw. and basically I just need to get the jump on the start
Yeah.
and win the heat. So
Makes a
yeah,
big
it's
difference. And
big
then you
difference.
drew, what'd you draw?
I didn't draw anything.
Or
My
was
crew
that the
guy
last?
drew the one
Oh,
pill.
okay, okay. So who pulled your pill?
Yeah, yeah,
Who?
yeah. It's Bojangles' son, um, Tanner.
Oh,
He,
cool.
yeah, he drew the
Oh, he
one,
probably was
and
jacked to pull it.
yeah, you never know, because like sometimes kids will go up there, like grab something. Was this good? No, the 6 pill is not good. The 8 pill is not good. And he's like, I think this is good. They were talking like 12. What's the 12? And I'm like, 12? I'm gonna start 12.
Yeah.
We're only drawing for 6, but it was the 1 pill, so put me
I
on the
thought
12.
about offering up my skills because I'm so on my game right now with pulling pills. And I thought to myself, it'd be nice if Sean would let me pull for him and I could get rid of an 8 pill or something. But I didn't want to do that to you, so I just kept my mouth shut.
Thanks. You know, it's really funny though. I was scheduled to go out before you in qualifying, but I knew the track was going to be 18th one thousandths of a second faster if I went out later. So I let you cut in front of me, and then that was all she wrote. Our nights were written
It
after that.
was mass chaos down there when we got to the cars that were pulling into the new staging, and Brad was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. We didn't have Garth Miller there. Was Garth there Saturday?
No,
Oh shoot. I was figuring maybe he had to work and he'd be there Saturday. So yeah, we had a different guy in staging, so that probably didn't help. But yeah, Brad was trying to make everything happen and he was yelling at us to get up there and I'm like, "Oh shit, I thought I was behind Sean." But oh well, there's 9 number 7s at every race now, so I figured I guess I was just confused on what 7 to be behind. But yeah, it's funny that you were supposed to go out before me. So I burned in the track one more time before the 7B went out there.
yeah, thanks for doing that.
Let you out qualify me. I turned an 11.4. Yeah, 11.4, which is a pretty goddamn fast lap, and it was 10th click.
Yeah, I think I got a picture. I believe in '08 when I drove uh, Rod Favre's Race Ready Rentals, and I set the track record. It might have been 11:0, and the pictures on me on the back straightaway pulling off the track, but the times in the
On
background.
the scoreboard?
Yeah, so it's
Cool.
really cool. So that was definitely the fastest I've ever been there, and I think John Michael Bunch broke the track record like the next week or a couple weeks
Uh-huh.
later. But
And he still got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the local deal. And then Joey Saldana, that I believe that year turned like a 10-8 or something like that,
Yeah.
10-9. So yeah, we haven't been turning that quick of times in a long time, probably since those years, '08,
Yeah, it's
'09
been
maybe.
20 years almost. Yeah. So the last time I was in the loop, I thought they were trying to kill some banking there to try to make the top not as fast, make the bottom more relevant. And then we turned those fast laps, and somebody's like, "Well, they must have added bank. It looks like they added bank." And I didn't really look at the track, and I'm like, "No, they didn't add bank. I think they're trying to kill bank." And then Brad told me, he goes, "Yeah, we added some bank to it." So now they have a different vision of what it's going to take to make it more racy. So that kind of explains why we were going a little bit faster.
It's interesting how the philosophy's kind of been changing because yeah, it was they were thinking we need to take banking out of the track to kind of slow the top down to make the bottom a little bit more equal. But yeah, now they put more banking in, and it's not much. Like you said, like you couldn't really tell, but like I did feel like when we were pulling onto the track, like turn two has always kind of like dropped off and
Uh,
kind of shoots you to the wall if you fall off that track. And I remember like Ed Kinkle, he was always would be there for wheel pack and stuff, and he would always make you go off the track to kind of pack that because if you did fall off and that was greasy, you were
yeah.
gonna easily slide into the wall every single time. So we didn't have to do that, but you could tell like, man, if you definitely going over a lip if you were going to pack that outside. So I'm like, I feel like there's more banking on this exits of the corners where I could tell the most, but
Uh,
maybe they put in more banking everywhere. I don't know, but it's
yeah.
definitely different and the times are faster.
I didn't get the memo, but You win your heat. I finished third or fourth in my heat. Didn't, obviously I need to win my heat. Didn't do that. So now I'm supposed to start 10th in the feature, but then we couldn't figure out how to start the goddamn race on Friday. And I missed everything, fortunately. And I ended up starting, once we finally got going, I started sixth. So it was like, I'm in a really pretty decent position considering where I should be starting.
Yep, we had I think a red after the second attempt at a start, and then yeah, they kind of ran through the lineup, and then I heard 92 was sixth. I'm like, man, he gained a whole bunch of spots. Like
Yeah,
he's
four
he's gonna
spots.
be in the hunt. So yeah, I do need to shout out your crew though after my heat race win, because if everybody watches NASCAR, when Dale Earnhardt won the Daytona 500, every pit crew from every team lined pit road, and he drove through and basically shook everybody's hand after he finally won his first Daytona 500. Well, I win my heat race, and it's been I've been reminded very a lot by, especially your crew chief, how I did not win a main event, did not win a heat race all of last year. So I finally won a heat race, and I come in through the pits, go into my pit stall, and the whole entire 92 crew team, which was like 20 people. You had a ton of people in your pit this weekend, but they're clapping for me and they're reaching their hand out to shake my hand. And I just kind of put my hand up like I didn't see them and drove right on past. So they were trying to embarrass me, and they did a good job.
Well, it was 20 years of trying and 20 years of frustration for Dale Earnhardt Sr. So that was about like that for you. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration to win a heat race, and you finally got it done. So good job.
Yay, me.
Yeah.
Got her done. But yeah, but because they have new banking, they reworked the track right before the main event, and which was I was happy about, because nobody on the inside had kind of gotten a start all day, and they kind of reworked the bottom. So I'm like, great, now I'm on the pole. I
You
think
have a
it's going to help
chance.
me on the start, and it did. We had 3 attempts, and I had Dominic Selzy next to me each time, and yeah, he tried 3 different things and none of them worked, and I just kind of hugged the bottom in 1 and 2. But man, it took me so long to get down there, and I had to wait to get back on the throttle. I was expecting Dom to just blow my stickers off, um, coming off of turn 2, but 3 times in a row he wasn't able to do that. But it was, for me, it was so slow to get there and get back to the throttle. I'm like, we got more banking here. The track's faster. Like I feel like I got to get back to the top. So I went to the top, and it felt better to me. And I was turning good laps and everything, and had I think a couple restarts, and went straight to the top, and it worked out. I didn't see a nose or anything. So I'm like, all right, we're good. And we finally put some laps together, like 7 before our next caution, and try to go to the top again. And I will say I talked to Dom a little bit on the front stretch, but he was kind of saying, yeah, you had a good pace, but I think the bottom just kind of got worked in.
Yeah.
And after all those original green flag laps to begin with, under yellow, I can kind of look, and I could tell a lot of people are running down there. They're kind of blowing some snot up to the middle of the track and like packing it down. I'm like, I wonder if that's fast, but I hadn't run down there
Yeah.
yet. So I'm like, well, stick to my
And
MO.
it's hard to go try stuff when you're the leader. If you're in fourth,
Absolutely.
you fuck around, you try shit, but
Yeah.
not as the leader. Because as soon as you go do it and it doesn't work, then you're the fucking idiot. Because, well, what do you go down there for? You've been leading the whole time on the top. So yeah, it's a guess. It's a guessing game, gamble.
Yep. Yeah. So I stick to the top, and Dom stuck the bottom, and we kind of met at the middle of the back straightaway. And I try to get to the bottom, little chop suey, like not much, but try to get down there. But I had to blow it in so hard to get there first that I missed the bottom, and he was able to sneak under me, and that was kind of all she wrote. Then
Uh,
each time we kind of got into lap traffic, like a yellow would come out. So if I was going to pass him again, it was going to have to be an open track. And yeah, it was the track was almost like it was too good on the bottom in general, but you could kind of make the top work, but it was
Uh-huh.
almost too even. So it was just fast in both lines, and yeah, I just couldn't get it done. Came home in second.
Yeah, I thought by my feeling on the racetrack, in my opinion, I was like, man, this is a race where Sean could get down, just run the middle bottom and make this happen. So I was pretty disappointed when I saw you leading, and then on another restart, you weren't leading. I was like, ah, shoot, god damn it.
Mm.
Um, anyway, so I never really ran the top because I tried tipping over on lap one on the top. And on the warm up lap, I was doing wheel stands and the car, we were just too tight. So I started 10th on lap one. So you're basically committed to running the top the first turn at least. And I got up on the right front and I was, up on two wheels. And the car in front of me, who was it? Might have been Stanley. I think he almost flipped. I think he was the reason for the first caution, but then Parker also flipped. Okay, so there
Yeah.
was a red on lap one. And
Yes.
then after that, I kind of made my mind up because I have had a tendency the last couple of years of flying off the track at Chico, too tight, hitting the cushion wrong, whatever you want to say. So I just told myself, don't go up there, don't piss this away, don't drive off the edge, and let's just get some laps together on the bottom, which worked out fine. I basically started six, and I was good at run. I ran sixth, seventh, eighth, back and forth a couple people. And at the end of the race, I was passing Brooks. He got all dicked up and won. And we went into turn 3 and 4, like you say. I had him lined up, but he had the outside angle and he chop sueyed me going into three. And it's one of those things where like mentally, if I just hold my, just saying, fuck it, I'm not giving, you can kind of maybe do one of these and knock him up. But my instinct is like, oh crap, and I get on the brakes and I drive up on the infield berm, gets me all dicked up. And now I'm like kind of making a triangle out of the turn because I drove through the infield, up the track on the right front. Austin Wood got underneath me. I hit his left, excuse me, I hit his right front with my left rear,
Mm.
bounced me up in the air, couple other cars got by me, and then that was all she wrote. We went another 3 laps, so I was that close to fifth, and I end up P9.
Mm.
So it turns out we did have a dead shock on the left front. I don't know what was the problem, but we were kind of wondering why was this car handling like it did. And then Saturday when I got to Placerville, Brian said he put the shocks on the dyno and the left front was bad. So kind of makes sense, but it is what it is. Oh well.
Interesting. It's interesting how kind of the track played out because it was so fast in qualifying and not the curb wasn't really edgy or anything. Like it was pretty easy to hit. Like we haven't really run wide open like that and not have it be too technical of a track to kind of drive in a long time. So I thought, man, nobody hot lap down on the bottom. Like it track's gonna be too good. But man, that sun just cooked the track, and after one heat race, like it blew off like
Yeah.
really, really quick. I was surprised how like hard packed it kind of got and how slick it got kind of through the center. Nice cushion to kind of lean on, and so the top was super fast, nothing down on the bottom. So I was surprised how quickly it went away. And then they brought the water trucks out, the tillers and everything, and watered the bottom and top, tilled both. And man, I was talking to Donald Gramps running Cycleland now, and he was saying like the humidity, once the sun goes down, the humidity jumps up like 21%.
Uh-huh.
So you go and till the track after the sun's down and add water to it. There's already more moisture in the air too. And yeah, it did not go away. Like it stayed really juiced up that whole main event. So yeah, if you were tight to begin with, you were going to be tight that whole race. So you
Yeah.
probably had a handful that night.
And we were looser than you because Brad, your crew chief Brad, and my crew chief Brian, they talked to each other, and you were way tighter than I was, setup wise, stagger wise, shock wise, and my car was handling tighter than yours. So yeah, it was. And then Brian kind of, he was like, seemed disappointed in me that I didn't try other things. I just wasn't comfortable in the car,
Yeah.
comfortable enough to try anything. I was like, man, we're not racing for a win. I'm racing for fifth place. I mean, how hard am I going to try? I'm not going to wear this thing out just to try to, try something to get fifth. So, that was kind of my race. The interesting thing is at Chico, though, I mean, we have seen them farm before where you're like, wow, they farmed. And then you go out and make 2 laps and it's just like it never even happened. So
Yeah.
there's, it's such a razor's edge at Silver Dollar right now for whatever reason that it's like, I would say they overfarmed the bottom this time
Yeah. Yeah.
because it
Right.
was too fast.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, we'll kind of get to there for the second night because we were in the exact same boat. Like we kept tightening the car up all night long on Saturday, and then they farmed the heck out of the track again. But we thought this is the second day. Let's just keep going in the direction we're going. And man, I had a handful on Saturday. Like
Really?
could never did never get the car free enough after that. So yeah, it is weird how it swings. Like, and they don't want the rubber down track. Nobody wants the rubber down
Yeah.
track. So I know they're extra cautious of that, like trying to get a good surface. Obviously, they want a good, nice, wide surface, but yeah, how hard packed it got, like just from the heat races on Friday, like it will rubber up
Yeah.
whenever the
Quickly.
the way we were running on Saturday. I felt like they definitely needed to till the top just because that left rear was going to start laying rubber pretty quick. And Saturday's a 40 lap main event. So by the time the end of that race, like it would have been for sure rubber down if they didn't do anything. So they kind of did what they had to do.
I know SLC likes getting done early, and I mean, this is just me spitballing, but I feel like we get so much of the program done in the sunlight. And I don't know if it's time to rethink our start time
Ah,
and maybe we start later and save the track and don't have to farm as much and still get done at the same time because sprint car, and I'm not just talking Silver Dollar, this isn't a bag on Silver Dollar.
yeah.
Any dirt track in America, if you race in the sunlight, you're gonna kill it. There's just no dirt that will hold moisture and not go to shit while these wing sprint cars go around these tracks at 3,000 miles an hour and with the sun on it. So it's like, what time can we start? How late can we start to where we're not racing in the sun?
No, I definitely had that thought 100%. So that's interesting because it did seem like we were waiting around a lot on Friday to almost kill time, like waiting for the sun to go down so it wasn't blinding everybody in turns three
Yeah.
and four when we're going through the corners. But yeah, there has to be a lot of track prep whenever the sun cooks it. Got to build it up for that. Then the rest of the heat races burn it up again, so we got to till it up and get it
Yeah.
nice and fresh for the main event. So yeah, maybe starting later might kill at least one of those track prep time periods. Um, yeah, and we're always talking about a condensed show, and you mentioned it before too, and especially like these Friday nights. Like we didn't have a great crowd on Friday night, and
That
it's
was
always
disappointing.
sure, and it's always like the early start times. Usually the crowd builds up for later in the night. So maybe like, yeah, maybe they do want to go have dinner or do something, get home from work and do something around the house and then come out when the sun's kind of going down. It cools off a little bit. So maybe there is something to be said about that. But yeah, who knows? We don't know.
No, we don't. We can just give our stupid opinion. But,
Yeah.
um, so I was able to watch qualifying at Chico, and I kept waiting to see the 7B come out and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you finally came out like last.
Yeah. That it definitely didn't help. But so, I mean, we're talking about me out, me out qualifying you on Friday. But even then, man, like we qualified ninth. We just snuck into the front row by the hairs of our chinny chin chin. Like we do not have any speed for qualifying kind of all year long. That's basically what our problem is. We have not qualified well all year long. It seems to kind of be getting worse. It was really bad at Watsonville, not good at Santa Maria again, and then going out late did not help. But I mean, he is Brad Sweet. He did go out and went 10th, I think. Like, we're probably not going to outqualify Brad, but we still need to be somewhat in the hunt. And us qualifying 21st is not in the hunt.
Yeah.
It's been very, very frustrating, like, for the whole team. Like, it's not for a lack of effort. We're trying multiple things. Biff Dog, he's doing his homework, spending the extra hours in the shop trying to figure out what's going on, and we haven't found anything yet. So, yeah, still kind of keeping our nose to the grindstone, and we'll keep trying more things to figure this out, but we do not have the speed, especially early in the night. And with the class of field that we have, you're just digging yourself too big of a
Yeah.
hole.
You put yourself behind everybody. I'm real big on. I'm not going to say I'm good enough to beat these guys, but I feel like I'm good enough to stay in front of them. You're not
Yeah.
good. I'm not good enough to get in front of them, but I might be good enough to stay in front of them. So when you put yourself behind the eight ball by qualifying poorly, you're behind them all. So, all right. So you suck in qualifying. Let me ask you this. We were watching and kind of seeing who was going to make the invert, this and that. And Brad was 10th quick. And we're like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Brad's not in the invert because 30 cars equals 3 heats at NARC, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now there's 4 heats. So when did this all come about?
Yeah, so they mentioned, so they just told us the format at the drivers meeting. That was kind of it. And then it was just left at that. And then my crew chief comes over and he's like, "Wait a minute. Why aren't there 3 heats? Like, that's the NARC format." I'm all, "You are absolutely right, but I think this is the Bradway race and they have always had 4 heats and they have special awards for
Yeah.
those 4 heats. So everything's already set for 4 heats. This is kind of the first time where we had a different format to where you have to have 32 cars to have 4 heats. We had 29. I think they just kind of said, "Hey, this is a special race, close enough. This is what we're going to do. This is what the format is."
That's kind of consensus we came up with when we were like, what the hell is going on here? Oh, it is the Bradway. Like you say, they do special deals. Each heat race is sponsored. It's just such a odd look when it's like, oh, Sweet needed 4 heats, so they gave him 4 heats, you know? So that we were joking about that. Well, Brad wasn't in the invert, so they just added a heat race.
Yeah, my crew chief was kind of saying, "Well, that helps us out because where we've been qualifying ninth the night before just snuck into the heat race. So like, okay, now it's got to be 12th that I got to get
Increases your
to make."
odds.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, but yeah, nothing was mentioned of why we went to 4 heats, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, so I'm just kind of assuming what you're assuming too.
You know what happens when you assume, though? It makes an ass out of you and me.
uh, but I will say, I mean, the end of the night, we ended all right, um, in a good positive note anyway. But at that point, like, it was pretty depressing, our performance there. And I did have a thought in my head. I'm starting 6th. They transfer top 5. We did have 5 good cars in front of us. And I did think it's not bad to run a B main tonight because they do have lap money
Uh-huh.
for B main and special awards and everything else. So, like, I wasn't trying to run the B main, but I wasn't stressing out if I had to run a B main. And I actually put a move on TK to get into 4th, which in the NARC format, every position you gain is basically like 2 rows of further up where you're going to start in the main event. So me going from 6th to 4th, like, really helped my odds to where I was
Gain
going
them
to start.
rows. Yeah.
Right. Well, he crossed me over. I tried to cross him over. He kind of blocked my entry to the next corner and pulled away. And then that gave Sharamani a run. He slid me. I tried to cross him over, couldn't get it done. Now I'm back in 6th and follow the leader after that. So it sucked. We got to run a B, but I wasn't completely bummed. And it worked out. We ended up being able to start front row, led all those laps, got that extra lap money, and cherry on top of all that, the winner of the B main was awarded an extra $100 in honor of Bill Brock Jones.
Oh, no way.
Yes. So KBJ came down to me after the races, let me know we were honored with that award. So got to give KBJ a big hug, and so that in my mind was the best part of the night. So
Sure.
yeah.
So, do you know how much you made for winning the B main?
I didn't know. I'm not sure exactly. I was hoping Troy was going to mention something. I tried to rewatch the video today. I was hoping he was going to mention something on the microphone, but didn't get it brought up. So
Yeah, because typically you make $0. Typically, if people don't understand, the Ford or the transfer cars, whether it's 4 or 6, they get zero. And then the first guy who doesn't make the main, that's where the payoff starts in the semis. So yeah, when you run a B main, it's basically for free to get start money in the A. So to make money in the B main as a transfer car, that's a bit of an anomaly. So that's if you're gonna be in a B main, do it at the Bradway.
exactly. So now I start 21st, and Shermani, who beat me in the heat race, he just starts 2 rows in front of me. So I just kind of gained all this extra money, but he passed me, and I see him 2 rows in
Uh-huh.
front of me, kind of. So you're weighing the cost right there,
Yeah.
and it kind of worked out in our favor in that sense. But yeah,
All right. Let's go back to Placerville.
yeah.
Actually, let's see. 20 cars at Placerville. I was fourth quick. The top 4 cars were separated by 44 thousandths of a second. So with 3 heats, I was the first odd man out. You know, you go
Ah,
from having to win your heat race or the top 3 quick qualifiers. All I got to do is transfer, finish fifth, easy street. So here I am on the pole of my heat race again. And I won't say it was the worst conditions at Placerville, because sometimes Placerville on the bottom's like, oh crap, horrible, snotty, snotty, snotty. But it wasn't that bad, but it still wasn't great. I did get a jump on Jake Morgan to the point where I was ahead of him going into turn one, but I wasn't ahead of him enough to just completely take up the
sure.
track. So I stuffed it in there as aggressively as I thought I could and still give him room, because it was real choppy in 1 and 2 again at Placerville.
Uh,
And I thought, okay, there's just not quite enough room up there. I'm gonna plug the hole and everything will be fine. Well, we got the exit of 2, and there he was. Like he sacked up and he just snuck around me. We actually hit, and somehow he didn't fly off the track. It ended up I ran over his left rear and flew up in the air. It's really weird. The outside car somehow wheeled the inside car, which was me. I flew up in the air. Michael Sellers got by me, and so before I knew it, I went from thinking I was going to win my heat to being in third. And so that's how I finished in third. And I didn't even know it, but the Placerville point shows are using the Sprint Car Challenge Tour format for heats. So I thought, well, no big deal. I didn't win my heat race, but I still transferred. I'll be the fastest car in the main event behind the invert. I'm going to start seventh. Well, no, it says CCT format. Finishing in the heat races matter. So I ended up started P10 in the feature.
oh wow.
Yeah. So pretty big swing again. So I was like, I guess I ought to pay more attention at these drivers meetings. But that
We
was
got all these different formats and different series, and we still can't figure it out. But yeah, we need to do our better due diligence, I
it,
guess.
it used to be so easy. Everything was the same. I mean, I feel like my whole career was the same format, literally up until about 2017 when the Sprint Car Challenge came along, and then they copied the All Star format, and then we reconfigured that format, and then we've reconfigured it. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I started P10.
Did the track widen up for the main event?
Not really. I mean, yes, finally, but I mean, I would say it was probably the most juiced up the track's been all year.
Hmm.
So I should back up. So Isaac Sharp, the black and white 24 car, was in my heat race. He, I guess, got tight in turns 3 and 4, and he flew off the track, kind of like Dukes of Hazard, and he landed. Now, this is what I've been told, so I don't want anybody to be like, oh, that's not what happened. I was in the heat. This happened behind me. I didn't see any video yet. I'm going by what people told me, but this is what I know. Supposedly, he flew off the track, caught quite a bit of air, landed, popped the left rear tire. So that's hit one that probably didn't feel good. Well, then that bounced him up again, and he slammed into the dirt bank, like right where the pit booth is. So if you're standing in the pit booth looking down, he ended up landed on that track, and he kind of did one of those, and the car just stopped. He screwed up his back. He actually got out of the car on his own, and then I guess instantly went to the ground. So they red flag our heat race. We had a long, they took him out on the. Well, they didn't take him out of the car. They took him to the ambulance on a backboard, and they took him to the hospital. So as of Sunday, he's home. He's okay. Super, super sore. So no injuries other than that didn't feel good. So another back injury in sprint car racing. Yeah, it's crazy. As many times as we've crashed and flown off the track at Chico, especially, and now everything is it's like every week now something odd is going on. So I have no answers. I mean, we've talked about it before, so I'm not going to beat the dead horse, but I don't know. I guess just hope like hell you don't land flat in one of these things is basically what it comes down to at this point.
And I guess that is the mentality you have to have. Like, well, when you're flipping in there, it's not like a roller coaster ride where you're just kind of confined to this zipper spinning contraption. Like something's gonna hurt. Like hopefully this isn't too bad
Yeah.
as you're flipping around. And yeah, we're just hoping for the best, I guess.
Yeah.
We're dumb drivers.
So when you saw Andreotti go off the track and you were expecting to hear red, 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 instead you heard yellow, yellow, yellow. That became a common theme in your receiver for that race. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
52 minutes, Andy.
Oh my God.
Our main event took 52 minutes.
That's
So
about 42 minutes.
Friday night, I think, was close to like 32 or so.
Yeah.
That race took too long to go.
To back up to Friday night, I was pretty disenchanted when I left the Speedway Friday night. The crowd wasn't great. The product wasn't great. And I was like, man, what the hell are we doing? This is not a good product.
It sounded like I was talking to Lisa about it. I think she was listening to Brad Sweet's interview after the races, and I think he was a little discouraged too. And I think rightfully so, kind of putting it on the drivers. Like, we got to figure this out, guys. We got to make more than 5 laps in a row without falling off the track. Like, but I will say, like, it's good drivers that are like causing cautions and flying off the track. Like Colby Copeland, like he jumped on a restart out to second, like he was moving in that main event. Well, he fell off the track just pushing too hard. The top got really technical.
Yeah, it looked tough.
I was super tight. Like to kind of piggyback on what you felt Friday, I was equally that tight, not comfortable, didn't know where I needed to be on the track the whole time. And for a 40 lap main, you got to typically for sprint car racing, you got to fill up the fuel tank as much as you can, especially on those long races. Well, that makes the car super tight. But the track usually will go away. So you kind of want the car tight early so it could be good at the finish of the race.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like the track just kind of got tighter and tighter, in my opinion. Like the curb kind of got built up more and more. And I don't know. We were tight from the beginning and never fixed it until toward the very end when they had to throw another red flag, open that one up as well. We had 2 open reds basically in our race. And the second one, thankfully, Biff Dog kind of saved my butt and fixed some stuff up. And then we made some moves after that point. But yeah, it's just so it's good drivers. Landon Brooks, he started right in front of me. So he started 19th. He was up to like 5th or something at one point and then fell off the track. So it's good drivers that are just driving that ragged edge and falling off the track, causing a yellow, but it's not fun to see. So all these fans are
Oh,
kind of getting like gypped out of a good show because of all this stop and go, stop and go. Like that's not fun, but everybody's trying to find that edge and they're pushing as hard as they can. And but it is kind of on us drivers to kind of figure it out a little better than what we did this weekend.
so we ran our main event, and I guess I'll tell you what happened in my race just in a nutshell. Started 10th. The track was pretty juiced up. We actually backed our car way off from what we had it set, what we thought was going to be the track. We went out there and was like, whoa, this is way different than what we expected. So we loosened the car up probably more than we really needed to or should have. But starting 10th, we thought, you're going to have to drive the shit out of this thing for a while. So everything worked out pretty good. I got sideways one time, kind of collected Seth Stanley. I mean, it could have been like he could have ran over me and kept going and folded my front end. It would have been all my fault. But luckily, we just kind of did those just two tire. It was really soft, and we both kept going, and it kind of was one of those things where my night could have been gone, but it just went my way. And after that, I really started rolling, passing people on the outside. But the further up I got and the more the track burned in, it became more apparent we were getting too loose. But we did get into traffic and things got super dicey. I got into second, and I mean, I was coming off of turn 4. I mean, they even had Cox. Cox was leading at this time. He was all bottled up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just all of a sudden working out for me. I'm going to go from third to possibly first in a lap if I do this properly. And then the yellow came out, put me back into third behind Shane Hopkins, and I could never recoup from there,
Mm.
which was fine. 10th to third is fine. So we run the main event. We get into the trailer, push up to the trailer, and you guys are on lap 12. So we just kind of stop everything. Typically, we tear our car down and start getting loaded up and everything. And we're like, hell yeah, this is perfect. We'll watch the main event. We shouldn't have ever tried to do that because it cost us an hour getting home. It was like yellow after yellow after yellow. And
Yeah.
talking about the drivers doing things right, there was a caution that Troy never said what it was for. There was a caution for the goddamn cone being on the racetrack. There was a caution for Dominic Selzy. He spun off the track, and I'm watching him. The camera just happened to be on him. And I could kind of tell in my mind, Dom's done. He's going to pull off in the pits. He's pointed towards the pits. I don't think he's racing for points. He don't give a shit. They fucking flung the yellow flag on again. I'm like, and he pulled into the pits. He was pulling in the pits, and they threw the goddamn yellow. So the drivers need to do better, and the officials need to do better as far as running that program.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it kind of the weight falls on everybody, like the group as a whole, but I don't know what the right answer is, but like, what do you tell guys not to push hard,
Yeah,
not to
that ain't
try to
gonna
win
work.
races?
I
Like
mean, the
it's
only thing you could say at Chico, let's say hypothetically, is if you fly off the track and stop, you're DQ'd. I mean, you could put that into play. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right call. I do know that I was pissed off at Merced. You guys had a yellow for a cone ending up on the track. And I messaged Brad. I'm like, Brad, there's no fucking reason for that cone to be so close to the edge
yeah,
for a car to knock it on the racetrack. He goes, yeah, no, I agree. And coincidentally, Friday night, I was out there on the infield, and somebody had set the cones up already right on the edge of the track to where if you stuck your left front up there, you're going to hit it. I took it upon myself. I moved them in like 4 feet. That's all it need. That's all you need. That way you don't run into it. And then I see him right on the edge again at Chico for the NARC show. I'm like, that's just asking for a fucking caution. I don't understand why you're tempting fate with this cone on the racetrack. Get rid of that goddamn thing. Cost us a yellow. I will say, the 1.5 and 2 laps that you guys were doing at a time were very exciting. It was good
yes,
stuff.
yes,
But 2 laps at a time is boring.
100%. Yeah, why'd you go 360 racing? We needed you to move the cones in. We would have finished in 44 minutes, not
One less caution.
52.
If I would have been there, there would have been one less caution. But if I had been there, there might have been 2 more cautions because I was racing. But anyways, there's some controllable things as far as putting on a show, and I know Brad's still working on this new officiating crew, but they need to get their shit together. That's for sure.
I suppose so. Yeah, they do like to say, uh, we'll be lined up going into turn one, and they'll say, "All right, we're going to show you one to go next time by." And it's like, no, we're into turn one. I'm sure we're lined up now or close enough to lined up. Like, that's Mike Hess. He's saying, guys, we're going green
Going
this
green,
time.
going
Like,
green. Let's go green.
he says that on the back straightaway, like almost going into turn three, and
I know.
everybody starts in panic mode, like, get out of the way. I need to get in this spot.
We figured
So
out.
yeah, I mean, those are one extra laps. I think that's nitpicking a little bit, but I know it's a pet peeve of a lot of people, and especially my wife. She doesn't like seeing the extra laps, and no, the flagman likes to show you one to go, one to go. It's like, yeah, we don't need to see that. We got radios. We'll go when it's time to go.
Speaking of radios, did did you have an okay night with your radio this weekend?
No, like, so the first night, yeah, you told me like people are complaining about the radios. I'm all, no, I switched to my Nitro B radio, which does a great job. Well, all day Saturday, it had the static thing just randomly, but it didn't seem to happen when I was on the track. It only seemed to happen on when I was in the pit area or in the staging area waiting to go on. And that's just annoying because you got the headphones in and you try to get it almost as loud as you can, but then just randomly it'll start just static, just straight static, and there's no way to stop it, and you can't pull them out of your ears. You got your helmet on.
Yeah. You get, can you,
It's,
where do you keep your radio? Can you unplug it?
um, no, the fire suits I have, they're inside, so I
Okay.
have a pocket on the inside.
So mine's on the outside of my helmet. So I have had some instances where it goes to shit and all you hear is
Yep, that's
you
it.
reach up there and unplug it. So I've figured out that I use the two-way radio, the race, what is it? Race technology ones, where a few years ago people kind of threw a tizzy fit because you can use that red radio for two-way communication. And so they kind of outlawed them. And I'm not saying here I'm cheating, but that's the only radio that I can use at Silver Dollar that I can hear. And I'm very, very self-conscious and very insecure in the car if I can't hear. So I've gone back to that. And like Shane was on the backstretch with Colby. He had like four freaking receivers in his hand. Try this one, try this one. And he finally found one that he could hear out of. Like the other ones wouldn't work, but this one that was no different, same brand, same everything, would work. So Shane's like, yeah, I'll use this one. And I said, well, you used to run the red one. Just run the red one. I guess last year after the Hangtown 100, somebody broke into their trailer at the shop in Elk Grove and
Oh,
stole a bunch of shit, but they stole his gear bag and his
oh,
red receiver was in it. So
geez.
so here I am. I'm all cocky and arrogant. I got the only receiver that works. Look at me. Look at me. Well, the fucking battery went dead one lap before we went green in the main event Saturday. Or excuse me, Friday.
On Friday.
So I go into panic mode. Like, God damn it. I want to know what's going on. Is there a red? Is there a yellow? Are we going green? And fortunately, we had 19 red flags before the thing got started, and my crew got me some batteries, so I was able to reboot the goddamn thing. But these freaking radios, man, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand, but it does seem like Chico is the worst place for whatever reason. So I don't know if there's some sort of like, yeah, satellite station that's
Yeah.
too close by or something. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like, why
My,
am I just getting random static for no reason just at this track? Stupid.
it is weird. But the
Mm.
solution is if anybody's concerned, we need to start using the red ones again because they do work at Chico. But yeah, it's funny. I'm one of the only guys out there probably racing that used to race without a receiver. I mean, this is relatively new to me, and I'm probably the most insecure guy out there when I don't have my receiver working. I hate it.
It is funny because there was a race in Stockton, I feel like a couple years ago, and they were saying, oh, the officiating crew, they don't have receivers, so we ain't gonna have communication. And I went into panic mode. I'm like, how are we gonna know? Like, how are we gonna know anything? Like, this ain't good. Like, the show's never gonna get done. But then you get out on the track and it's like, oh, the light went out on the back straightaway. We're
Uh-huh.
going green this time. It's like, oh yeah, that's how we used to do it back in the day. But
Yep.
yeah, we got spoiled now. People
Can be
yelling at us.
done.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get in, we're watching the main event, 12 laps down, and it was just caution after caution after caution. The racing was good, and you were still pretty far at the back, and then every caution you were up a spot. We were in 15th, then 13th, and then 12th, and next thing you know, P6 rolling.
Yeah. Wouldn't even say rolling. It was totally bizarre race, Andy. Like I went in the first corner, like you're way back in the pack, you're starting on the bottom, but had a ton of left rear drive, so I'm driving up the track. Probably gave Billy Aton a um, panic attack. Thought I was going to put him in the wall, but then I tried to go into turn one, and the left rear comes up, and I'm scooting up the track. Sorhees blows by me on the bottom, so I'm losing spots. So now I'm like almost dead last. I was going nowhere in a hurry,
Which
but
is bad because you get lapped really quickly when you're the last car out there.
exactly. So yeah, you want to be smart when you're back there because the night before there was so much chaos going on, especially down the front straightaway on restarts. So all right, make sure you get through here, but then you got to go. Like you got to
Yeah.
go, especially how fast the track is and the times we're turning, they're going to be coming. So yeah, that's definitely in your head. Don't go a lap down. And yeah, I just had a handful of the car to try to deal with. I was like too tight to run the bottom. So then you run up the top and it still had that little curb edge deal getting into turn one. So that was dicking people up, definitely dicking me up. I'm already tight as it is, trying to drive through that. So that was a handful. I found like kind of later in the race, like I had to go basically around it. So put my right rear up above that hole and then it was a smooth line, but how tight we were, and especially in the middle of the race, it got worse. Like I was like straight turn left the whole time. Just don't go off the track. Don't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
off the track.
Every lap,
So
you're just praying that this doesn't fuck you on that one particular turn.
yeah, so I'm out in there praying, don't be a caution, but everybody else is a caution.
Uh
So
huh.
I'm sure everybody is dealing with that. Like they're pushing their their limits the best they can, and then yeah, you miss it by a little bit and you're off and causing a yellow. So I really wasn't making any gains. And usually in these situations where you have all these restarts, like I don't know if it's just racecraft or what it may be, but yeah, like usually I can figure something out on a restart to where, oh, I got a couple guys here. And I don't really feel like I did that. There was a lot of restarts where I I would be in the high line this one, and then somebody dicked up in the high line. I had to woe up, and two guys got me on the bottom. So then the next one, I'm on the bottom, and then I get tight again, and then
Uh
two
huh.
guys blow by me on the outside. So I didn't feel like I was gaining anything there. So maybe it was just like a matter of attrition, basically, of how I was kind of gaining spots. But there was one restart kind of late where I think the preferred line was kind of being on the bottom, kind of three quarters late in the race. So I think a whole bunch of people picked the bottom on the choose cone, and I picked the outside, and I gained like 2 rows.
Nice.
And from then on, it was like pretty good. And at about that time is when I figured I had to go around the turn one hole, and then I started to make up a lot of gain. Um, then Kading and Dominic Selzy kind of did a pirouette crash. I think it ended up being a red. Um, they all went to the bottom. Like all 5 cars in front of me went to the bottom. I went to the top. They crashed. Like I came out in fifth in that point. I'm all hell yeah, but then it was a red.
Uh
So a couple I had to get a couple of those spots back. But on that open red, Biff Dog came out, freed up the car. Like I'm telling them, we have the shock adjuster, so we can tweak on things, and I was trying my best to loosen the car up as much as I can, but yeah, the
There's
shock
only so
adjuster
much adjustment in one right rear shock.
exactly, and then you're adjusting either the rebound or the compression. I think we're adjusting the rebound, so it's different of how which way you want to turn it and what's it going to do to the car. So usually kind of what we have it set at now, it's not really helping me like turn the car easier. It's just making me more comfortable.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't helping me, whatever I was doing to it. But he kind of came in, saved the day, and everybody kind of went to the bottom on that restart. I restarted in seventh at that point, got the top going, kind of in both corners, got into fifth, and at that point I think there was 8 laps to go. So I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna get fifth. But Colby Copeland, like he was ripping in the beginning of the race, fell off the track, so went to the back, and then all of a sudden he came back. I peek over to my side coming off turn 2, and he's ripping the bottom. We kind of race into turn 3. He went by me there, and he was tracking down the next 2 cars in front of me, so he was moving. So and we ended up fifth, but yeah,
Sixth.
yeah. So he got fifth. We ended up
Okay.
sixth, and then but it was $400 for hard charger. So, and we started 21st. The 2 cars in front of me was Landon Brooks and Tanner Carrick. Landon, he's a charger. So, he was like several spots in front of me most of that race. And I think he got up to fifth at one point before he fell off the track. Well, Carrick, he was in front of me the whole race. On that last restart with 8 to go, he was in fifth and I was in seventh. So I knew we're going to do hard charger. Like I have to pass him, like, because it would have been the same spots gained between me and him. So I ended up being able to get him. I ended up sixth. He got seventh. So that allowed me to get the hard charger award. So yeah. So with the lap money in the B main, extra $100 for the Bill Brock Jones tribute, and then 400 for hard charger, like, and then sixth place overall at the Bradways. It's going to be a pretty good payday for the team. So it ended up working in that sense. But we did have to run a B. Probably
Yeah.
blew through some tires there. Obviously blew through some tires in the heat race. And then main event, track was pretty juiced up. So I don't think we wore out any tires per se, but you do run 40 laps on those tires. So are they raceable after that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
They
we
kind
did
of
go through a
become
lot of tires.
hot lap tires or
Yeah.
get you through a heat race tire. That's kind of funny. We were in the same predicament Saturday at Placerville. It's not like we wore tires out, or maybe it was Friday night. Both tires still looked okay, but it's like we're probably never gonna run those again. But they don't look bad enough to take off. But
Right.
so I think they took them, they dismounted them anyways. But I was in my mind thinking, hell, if this was still my team 20 years ago, I'd be running them 2 more nights. But
Absolutely.
you don't really do that in the 410, or you don't really do that in sprint car racing anymore. Period. Out here in California, everybody's got nice new shit every night. Uh,
We were
okay.
talking about car counts, like kind of the last week at Posse Shootout and everything. Had a couple guys mention to me that they think it's the tire bill is one of the major factors in why car counts are down. Do you have any feel about that or any opinion?
Well, tires aren't the only thing that's expensive right now. I mean, let's face it, everything's expensive. I mean, if you got a
Fuel,
you got a truck,
everything.
if you got a truck, it's probably a diesel that's towing your trailer, even if it's a small trailer. $7 a gallon to go to a racetrack's pretty disheartening. The tire bill, I mean, and even though the pit passes prices haven't changed, I mean, yeah, get 3 or 4 people in the gate, you're talking $200 on top of the 200 you already put in your truck. So yeah, I mean, between gassing up your truck and getting in the pits, you're already $400 down. Boom, just out of your pocket.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, we go through cycles. I mean, it's certainly not helping. Let's put it that way.
Right.
It's a nice excuse. I mean, it's fun to have excuses. We all love excuses. Well, if the tire bills weren't so high, we'd have 50 cars here. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, last night at Placerville, we had I think 10 pure stocks, 6 or 7 late models, 10 trucks, and 20 sprint cars. We had 50 cars in the pits with 4 divisions. So I mean, it's not just the sprint cars. It's
Yeah.
kind of lagging everywhere, every division.
Yeah. We had lightning sprints and yeah, only enough for one heat race, I think. So yeah. Yeah, just low car counts in general, wherever you go. So for whatever reason, it's just where the state of racing in general, I guess.
The state of California, yeah. I don't have my fingerprint or my pulse on what's going on back east or mid, Indiana, but I just kind of keep a pretty good eye on California. So I look at all the car counts, kind of fun to kind of keep track and see what's going on. But it's almost like these tracks are almost back to needing 4 divisions again, right? I mean, we've been through this cycle where we were like, oh, we got too many divisions because we were having big long nights with too many cars. And now it's like, I'm not saying I want more divisions, but at Chico Friday night, it's like 7:30 and we're sitting around going, hell, they're ready for main events, right? I mean, the whole show's done. So I don't know. I'm glad I don't own a racetrack. I'll just tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure. And then Placerville's off next weekend, right?
Yeah. So actually, we weren't going to race this upcoming weekend, but we finally remember I was having all that motor issues at the beginning of the season, and we were fixing and changing. Nothing we did was the problem. We did it all. Plug wires, plugs, the generator, which is a distributor in a normal car, the ignition box, fuel lines, fuel tanks, you name it, we did it. It was something internally with the motor that had been messed with that we didn't know about. And thank God we finally just said, screw it. We sent the motor back to the engine builder. They figured it out and we just got that motor back. So we're going to try that this weekend at Marysville. See if it
Okay.
runs. It should
Yeah, the
run.
normal point show.
Yeah, just a Saturday night show. Sprint cars, modifieds, crate sprints, and hobby stock. So 4 divisions. We'll see how that goes. So we're going to shake that motor down. And then it's fair time after that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, well, so you'll be in Marysville this coming Saturday. Narc is back at Tulare again, so third show in Tulare already
Wow.
this year for us. So yeah,
The
that's a lot.
home of the Narc sprinters,
Yep,
Tulare Thunderbolt.
yep. So yeah, but then the week after that, Spare. So yeah, looking forward to that. We're gonna bring the motor home, and yeah, we'll finally have live Shark Tales, just like our original. Yep.
Ooh.
So
I don't know if anybody even wants those anymore now that we have the weekly deal. They probably heard enough of us.
probably I've heard enough of us, that's for sure.
Well, I've
Um,
heard enough. I want to hear about Thursday farmers market. Is that going to be a normal thing?
okay, so yeah, that was something we did. So last year I was up with SLC. You know, I would go up early on 2-day weekends, and SLC loves going out to dinner. So we went out to dinner on Thursday in town during the Thursday night farmers market. And man, there was a billion people there. I'm like, we need to bring a car here. And I know the other promoters, Dennis has done it in the past. Troy has orchestrated. I think Biff Dog's taken the 88 car to a few of them. Since SLC's taken over it wasn't something they'd ever done. I'm like, Paul's got the show car. I'll bring it up at the next, let's find a good weekend. Let's pump a weekend up. So we picked the Bradway. That is last year. Done deal. Okay. Assuming I'm gonna be at the Bradway, right? I just assume that. Again,
Yeah.
assume makes an ass out of you and me. So here comes the Bradway. I've committed my car to go to this Thursday night farmers market and I'm not racing the Bradway. So I had to drive up to Chico on Thursday, brought the show car back Thursday night, drive to Chico on Friday, drive home Friday night, go to Placerville on Saturday. Horrible timing, horrible planning, but the Thursday night farmers market was interesting. I tried feeling people out like, hey, a lot of people love the car. They look at it, wow, what's this? This is cool. I think I've seen these before. And so my go-to was, hey, have you ever been to the fairgrounds? Oh yeah. Have you ever been to the Speedway? Well, yeah, the monster trucks. lots of people been at the Speedway for the monster truck show.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of trying to convince those monster truck fans to go to the same facility, the same spot to see this doom buggy here with the airfoil on top. Come check it out. So we gave away some tickets. I know for a fact that some of those free tickets did make it to the races on Friday.
Bum we didn't get to hang out. It's fun getting a race with you for a chance. As I think only our second time this year that we ran together, maybe third. So, yeah, finally got to run with you on Friday, but then yeah, you ditched us
Not,
on Saturday to go big time 360 racing. So
not to put the cart before the horse, but do you have anything for Memorial Day?
Monoff just texted me and he said, got some triple X extra parts, so we're ready for the 24th, which is the Sunday for Marysville.
Okay.
So I think for sure we're racing that one. So it doesn't sound like we're racing the Saturday one. So
Okay, well, I mean, that's 50% of 100%. You got
yeah,
two opportunities to race that weekend, so you get to do one of two.
yeah, maybe I'll spend Saturday trying to get myself to puke on all the carnival rides and carnival food while you're out there kicking butt and getting closer to my win total at Chico.
Sweating out all the corn dog grease from the night before. Um, so I'll back up. I'm a real big stat guy. Stupid. I like stupid stats, not nothing that's important. So I told you last week that on Saturday night at the Posse Challenge, 6 out of 7 heats were won from the outside. No,
Okay.
only one car off the pole. So this last night, nobody from the pole. So we are now 1 for 10 in the last 2 races on pole cars getting the jump. And Shane Hawkins brought this up to me a few weeks ago. He's really adamant that we do the pole guy gets to choose. I think Nark's doing that now. The
Yes.
pole car, the heat gets to choose if he wants to be on the inside or outside. He's the fastest qualifier. He shouldn't be penalized for being in a shitty starting spot. So yeah, it's almost the point now. It's like, man, maybe there is some merit behind that. Because when he told me that, I was like, it's a crap shoot. Who gives a shit? We've been doing this 100 years. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's your not. It's not your night. But now after dealing with it for 2 weeks, I mean, the data's there. Now all of a sudden it's like, wow, 1 out of 10 off the pole. Maybe there is something to this. I don't know.
So it's interesting how we started. We were always invert 6. So no matter what we did. So it wasn't that you earned anything. Like that's just how you qualified and you were put where you were put. And you just had to deal with it. And kind of as the years have kind of gone on, World of Outlaws in general, we're kind of like, no, if you qualify fast, we need to put you on the pole. You earn that
Yeah.
spot. So
Started putting rewards out for it.
basically, exactly. So now there's no cherry picking or no way to manipulate the
Sandbagging.
system.
Yeah.
Right.
Sandbagging.
Yeah. Yeah. You got your fast time. You start on the pole. Whoever wins that heat race is going to the dash. You earn that spot by qualifying well. You should have the best odds of making it to the dash.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we went. And then now, yes, now it's like you were second quick in your heat race, first quick, they earn the option to all they have to do is transfer to make the dash. But now second quick, you earn the right to pick where you want to start on the track. So yeah, there's definitely something to be said there.
It was funny in my heat race Friday. I was wondering what Sanders would do if he wanted to start on the inside or the outside, but he was starting next to Mitri, so I didn't know which goddamn Sanders car was on the inside or the outside. Those two cars are just freaking identical.
XM.
Yeah,
So
so
I
they
didn't
could have
know who started where.
right. They could have switched, and you just didn't
I
know.
wouldn't known it. Hey, it didn't change my outcome. They still finished in front of me, so it didn't matter where they started.
Right. Mhm.
I got one more fan involvement. Do we want to revisit who's a better dancer?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
No.
so you had that dance video. I never seen you dance like that before. We've never danced like that before when we do our dancing.
He does. You just
John
are
was sober.
Yeah, you're not sober to see it.
Hey, I'll tell you someone who's not going to be dancing with me anytime soon. Steph Stanley's mom. I don't think she's an Andy Forsberg fan right now.
Oh, how come? Oh,
I got
because
I
you guys
got
banged up a little bit.
I got a few months to win her over. Maybe she'll want to dance with me at the banquet come December at Placerville. So, yeah, so I got sideways in front of him. We did the old da da da, and we kept going. Both of us kept going. But then apparently I lane changed on him on the backstretch. Apparently, kind of like he did to you and wheeled you. So he comes up to me a couple times, give me the old "what the fuck" under caution, which I
Oh,
let him. The first time I was fine with it, and then the second time I was like, "All right, bud, give me a fucking break. Enough's enough." I didn't know I lane changed on him. I just thought he was still mad at me for spinning out, which we all fuck up. I mean, we all do stupid
yeah,
shit
yeah.
throughout the entire race. So poor old Steel Powell tips over on the last lap. I think taking the checkers
Yes.
and last night. So they throw the red, everybody comes to a screeching halt. So I get out of my car. I'm going to talk to Steph on the track. I don't want no
Oh,
crews involved. I don't want the car owners. And, it just turns into a shit show. I just want to talk to him, me to me. Well, he snuck off the track somehow. Some of the cars were able to keep going and drive up the ramp. So I'm stuck on the track. So finally I get pushed up the pits and I go up to rip his ass. What the hell, dude? What's going on? Well, that doesn't bode well with mom. Mom wants to get involved, which I get. That's fine. But Steph was cool. He kept telling his mom and dad, "Mom, I want to talk to Andy. I want to talk to Andy. We'll talk to it." But mom didn't want none of that. So yeah, I had a little conversation. It ended fine. I mean, it was totally fine. I told him, "Don't be waving at me. We'll talk about it after the races." And I think I might have been on the razor's edge already because I already had a young kid waving at me during packing track
oh,
because
what
I
happened
roosted
there?
him apparently. Me. I'm down there fucking packing the track for everybody,
But
And you get
yeah,
and
you're
I
not
got I got
gassing it
mud on
up.
somebody who didn't want to pack track, and I'm getting the old this out the right side of the car. So I might have been. I should have told Seth that I was already on edge. She took the blunt from some other little kid that was already on my shit list. The funny thing was, is he told me he had to lift when I lane changed. And I was like, big fucking deal. I lift every goddamn lap for you guys swiping my front end. You cycle land kids. And she goes, "You're always blaming the cycle land kids. You're always telling them they don't know how to drive." I'm like, that's how they drive. They slide job you. You have to lift and get the fuck out of the way. We do it every lap out there. I'm sorry you had to lift. I didn't know you were out there, but big fucking deal. So yeah, I mean it ended fine. I'll
Yeah.
go smooth things over with her. She'll be fine with it. But yeah, she didn't want none of Andy Forsberg in her trailer. Or in Clayton's trailer. Clayton was cool. He
Right.
saw me stomping over there. He didn't even turn around. He just kept messing with the car. But yeah, it was just yeah. So yeah, the more I think about it, it wasn't so much Seth waving at me. It was the first kid waving at me. And I'm just out there doing his job for him because he won't get his goddamn car muddy. And I
Yeah.
bet you if you
Uh,
think real hard, you can figure out who it is.
I know.
It's got the same
I'm
number
gonna,
as me if you're dyslexic.
yeah.
And his dad was the same way.
Yeah. Dad didn't like packing track either. Let's just say it.
Oh, God.
I don't know what
Oh,
these people think when I get mad at them for not packing track. I don't like being the muddiest car out there. It is not fun to me. I have packed more
no.
track than anybody out there. I've brought in more mud than anybody out there. I'm not having fun. I'm trying to get shit ready for the fucking races.
Yeah,
End of
and
story.
to help the pole setters get the track ready for where
Yes.
they're going to have to start later in their heat races. But no,
Because I'm
it's
always
all
fourth
poopy because
quick
nobody's
in
packing.
my heat, and I got to start in the pole every week. I need the pole good. End of
Oh,
rant.
all right. Different topic I wanted to ask. When we're under yellow, and somebody in front of you has a flat tire, what do you do?
I would probably go up to him and try to give him the best flat tire signal you can. As soon as you let go of the steering wheel with both hands, the thing automatically turns to the left. So it's definitely
Usually,
a
yeah.
timing thing.
Right, exactly. But yeah, that's like it's common courtesy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're telling the truth.
Yeah. If oh yeah, I'll get to that if you're telling the truth. Anyways,
That's a
um,
great trick. I hope somebody did that. That's awesome.
that ain't awesome.
Tell me the story.
Some some Henry kid, Caleb Henry. I'm leading a race. It's at the Adobe Cup in Petaluma. I think he got the start on us and led, and then I passed him for the lead, like clean, like nothing else happened. And then we have a caution later in the race, and he comes, pulls up side of me, flat tire, and then I'm like all panicked, and every corner I'm buzzing the tires, and like usually you jump on the throttle, buzz the tires, and like you could feel like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
the car's leaning this way, and nothing felt weird. And I'm like, what's going on? And like, this is the Adobe Cup. They always put up good money at that
Yeah.
Petaluma race. And
$5,000 to win.
yeah, and that was the night we set the track record there too. That still hold up to this day. So like, I'm in panic mode.
All-time track record.
Yeah, all time, absolutely,
Yeah.
in a 360. So I'm in panic mode, that whole yellow, just stressing, and we go green, and you're just gritting your teeth going into the first corner. Like, I hope this don't bike up. And we ripped around there. I'm like, I didn't have the flat tire. And you would think after the races, I don't know, that they would come and say, hey, like, sorry, yeah, sorry about that. But it was like, no, my front wing got askewed, not of my doing, of either his own doing. I don't know if he got into a lapper or if it just fell by himself, but like, I just wanted to even the playing field, is how he put it. I'm like, I would never go to somebody and say you got a flat tire that didn't have a flat tire. Like, that's the kind. Oh, I couldn't believe that. Nobody had ever done that to me before, and I will never forget it. Left a
Yeah,
bad taste in my mouth.
that's definitely chicken shit, I will say. I mean, I was
Thank
looking
you.
forward to a funny story, but yeah, that's that's fucking Bush League, dude. Come on.
Amen. Thank you.
Good God.
So now we're at Chico on Saturday. We have a caution. Yeah, it was one of those cautions where I didn't even know who stopped on the track. I think it was Grasty. I think he blew a power steering box and just was able to pull into the pit after the yellow. But then Dominic Gordon, he's got a left flat uh, rear tire right in front of me. So I pull up next to him and I'm pointing and I'm going like this, like flat tire. And then he's pointing like on the track, or like where? I'm like, you left rear flat. And then he just pulls off the track. And I'm like, this ain't your yellow, bud.
Yeah.
We went green the next lap.
Yeah.
So he was stranded in the push off lane. And like, now I feel horrible. It's like, I told him he had a flat tire, but yeah, Dom, I'm sorry that I told you, or sorry you went in there, but that's not what you do. Like, you kind of got to cause your own caution.
Yeah, that's the stupidest rule out there. So let me ask you this. What point of the race were you at when this happened? Because isn't there like halfway, no more courtesy?
This was pretty early, so he would have gotten time for sure.
See, to me, that's a simple solution. That's the DOC saying, 10, you got a flat tire, go change it. We're not
Thank
going to let
you.
you start the race, cause a caution, go fix it then. That's the stupidest thing you could ever do. If you are under caution and you got a car that's going to go to the work area and you're still eligible for work area time, you do it during that caution. Do not start the race just to cause another caution.
Yeah,
Stupid.
I agree with you 100%. So this is kind of on the officials, like, but I don't think that's something that they are doing, where they're looking around the track. I think they're focused on the lineup or focused on whatever else they have to do, like working with the tow trucks or push off trucks to kind of get everything all squared away. So maybe they're not looking at that kind of stuff. But yes, that needs to be looked at by officials, because I'm pretty sure, like with high limits and maybe outlaws, they'll say, hey, I don't think they let people race with a flat tire, because sometimes if your tire's kind of low, but you can still kind of like try to manage it, I don't think they let you. Like, if
Uh,
it's flat, like they say, hey, you got to go off. Like, we will give you time if you go off now, but you have to do it now. If you stay on, like, you're on your own. Um,
Yeah, it's
but
just
yeah,
better for the show. It's just one less stoppage because even if you're out there with a flat tire, a low tire, it's going to blow out within a few laps. Flat tire, you could run on a flat tire for a few laps and then it's
right,
going to blow out. Guess what happens when it blows out? It's going to cause another caution, possibly a
exactly.
crash. So let's just alleviate that issue and fix the
Yes,
goddamn problem. That
yeah, and
you
because
got me all
what
fired up
people
now.
Yeah, and then what people would do is drive around on a flat tire under caution for
The
like
whole
3 or 4
time.
laps.
Yeah, the whole
Then you
yellow.
would start. Then they would stop on the
Yep.
track to
To
cause a
get their
caution. Then you
caution,
got
to
to
have
push
their
into
work
the
time. Yep.
exactly. So I felt really bad for Dom. Like I told him he had a flat tire, and then he pulled off. I felt horrible because now he's stuck out there laps down. But
You did the
that's
right
not
thing. The officials did the wrong thing. Sorry.
well. Yeah. I think that should be kind of brought up with the officials. Like, yeah, that they want open communication with all these drivers. I feel like they're doing a great job of trying to get better every time and be more efficient and everything. But yeah, that is something that should and will be brought up, and just something that kind of put on their checklist of stuff they need to look at as the race is going on. So shout out to Tuccelli and the whole Bradway family. Yeah, they put in a lot of effort, had a lot of extra contingencies, sponsors, and everything for it. So yeah, it was a great event. Well done.
Yeah, Mia even sponsored lap 40. Good
Lap
for Mia.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin
Oh,
Sanders. Mia's waiting for her thank you card for lap 40, $100.
oh boy, I don't think that's coming. But yeah, thank you, Mia.
I don't think I've ever won any of Mia's money yet. And she's 12 years old.
Well, you should stop putting it on the last lap.
I put in another laps too. Or not me, her. I don't know why Mia picked lap 40, but she sponsored laps at the Fermill last year. Look what that got me. Hell, I didn't even freaking race.
Spectating position.
Yeah, maybe I should Mia, you're sponsoring the biggest idiot of the night award next year. Maybe I'll get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they always have the hard luck award. And I never know how like what does that mean and who gets to decide on where that's going. But yeah, maybe Mia needs to like sponsor like who looks the best without a shirt in the pits. Yeah.
I still think the biggest idiot, because I'm not going to say I might have the worst luck, but I definitely have some nights where I'm the biggest idiot out there. So that's the next award we're going to sponsor.
Just out there?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. We've talked enough. Have fun at Tulare. It might be hot down there. I think the pendulum has swung. It's time to be warm now. Hey, we made it. None of our phones died. Good job.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
Andy.
Later.
Good seeing you this weekend.
10-4.
Night. See ya.